My favorite thing is the fact that I know what I need to do, but then I just don't do it because I'm so irredeemably lazy. Like, it's basically like I have the Force or something, but then I just don't use it because I'm too lazy to use the Force. I think that's the whole plot of Star Wars and everything. You know, you have people who are literally in control of the most powerful weapon in the galaxy, the force of their own persuasion, and they would rather use their tricks or their lightsabers or whatever, their kung fu mysticism, voodoo bullshit, to get what they want instead of just talking to people. Because, at any point in time, if they just, dropped out of the Jedi Order, they can own a planet. That's basically the joke. That's every Jedi is just telling a joke. This is their last life, and they have to remember what they programmed this shitty universe to do. Because, all they have to do is say their strange Jedi voodoo magic, and, the Force be with you and with you always. It's just gonna pop out of the other person's brain. Like, the whole universe just reorganizes around whatever the Jedi want. And that's kind of lazy. If I was a gray Jedi, or I was a gray Paladin, I would just tell you why there was only one last Jedi. It's because there's only one trick. It's about colors. Yoda has the green color, and he's supposed to tell you what color your lightsaber is, and he's so lazy. The only thing he does is show up to the classroom and ask you what color is his lightsaber, and your answer is green, and you just go home. But then everyone would want to cheat. Sometimes people would forget what colors they have. They're colorblind. They're either red or green. And like if you were cheating, it was red, but you were just looking at the green students and you just saying green, and it just looks the same anyway if you're colorblind. And if you get caught cheating, you just say sorry, but then your lightsaber's blue. Now, Mace Windu would be one of the kids who would just be telling that joke to Yoda instead of actually telling Yoda the color of his lightsaber because his lightsaber was purple. He'd already seen the joke already. He knows red, green, and blue. But it'd be funny to Yoda. It'd be funny to Mace Windu because he trained with Yoda. It'd be funny to everyone who already saw the joke. So the only joke in school, the newest joke in school, would be purple, and you would only show up to class just to see Mace Windu battle it out and define purple for everyone. Because otherwise, everyone's just really colorblind and playing really stupid mind tricks. Like if a Jedi lands on your planet, he can construct his lightsaber based out of the trash that he finds on your planet. He can just find trash on his planet. He can use the Force to get the lightsaber. If you stole it, he can just build trash and then put together a crystal. He can put together a weapon and shoot his way out of anything. A Jedi can do whatever they want. They're a Jedi. So a Jedi is basically just a monk who shows up to school, and the monks that show up to school are just old monks that they're tired of warfare. The only thing they do is they fight whenever there's a last resort, and then they beat up all your trash, and then they go home because technically you should be using all these tricks. You should be using lightning. That's CPR. What, you're not going to use a defibrillator? You can use it out of your hands. Darth Sidious is telling you about how to cheat death and all that stuff, but it's like bleh, it's called CPR, dummy. Like, that's why they're laughing at Anakin, because he actually went through the whole Darth Vader thing when he got his whole timeline. Because when you die, you get access to your whole timeline. You become a Force ghost, one with the Force, so you get to use the Force in all of the Force's capacity, and you could spawn yourself if you wanted to. I don't see why you would want to, unless it's just to become a living holocron, which is kind of weird. But, if in the new movie Darth Vader has to walk around torturing Kylo Ren because he's, a living Force holocron, yeah, that's basically that untapped karma, because you Jedi are just really lazy. They're just really lazy salesmen. They were just selling each other into slavery and just buying Jedi when they were done with it. That's all they were doing. They literally bought this kid who didn't have a dad. That was Anakin, and he gave him a brother, gave him a home. But the whole joke was like, Anakin, you're the best Star Wars, you're the best general since you were a kid. You could drop out of this Jedi shit and just live your life. Your family would have been cool with it. Obi-Wan would have been his best man at his marriage. That was a pretty ironic fate. But they're having a laugh about it because that's what happens at the end of the trilogy. You have a laugh about all the idiots who are still alive, and like, they're looking across the street at the people with no friends but all their slaves who listen to the dark side of the Force, and that's Darth Sidious's camp. Yeah, you listen to the dark side of the Force, you got to work for Darth Sidious for eternity. I didn't know you wanted to do that. You didn't have to do that anymore. Then you had to do the Jedi thing. You could have just left, and that's the whole joke about Star Wars. You could have just left. The Force is like everything. Everyone can have the Force. A blind man can have the Force. I predicted the plot of that movie. My friend made me watch it, the Rogue One. I hadn't watched it until he made me see it, but like a blind man could see it coming. Just like the robot, it's like the robots have the Force in them. They live and die with the Force, but yeah, they basically speak in the Force. They speak in the Force, and that's what they do, and it's basically what it is. This video can cut off at any point because that's the Force. Oh no, the Force cut off the video, but that's the Force of that video ending. It's just lightning. It's electromagnetism. That's the Force. You can have the Force in real life. You can actually feel when the storm is coming. You can either wait your whole life to do it, or you can just walk outside in the rain sometimes. You can tell. Sometimes I would tell when it's raining and no one would believe me, but it's like I'm feeling raindrops, so a storm is coming. We got to get to shelter, whether or not you feel the raindrops or not. Your skins can be sensitive to this or not, but I felt cold, and cold means rain, so that's the Force telling me that it's about to rain. If you want to, you can live your life by the Mojo Jojo, or you can't. I'm more of a gray paladin, a gray Jedi, because I see both sides of the story, and I just want to have fun. I play Smite just like the next person. I play my video games just like the next person, and I look at politics. It's all a joke anyway, because we could have solved this easily. If you want world peace, just switch all of military technology to wrestling, switch all of it to like martial arts and stuff, and then actually give people territory. You could bet on your territory. Bet Puerto Rico that somebody can beat Putin in arm wrestling. That's hilarious, and people would actually go for it. If you actually think that guns beat stuff, just arm wrestle. I don't know why you're dropping bombs. I don't know why anyone would press a button that's connected to a bomb on the other side of the button. That's kind of stupid. Star Wars proved it's stupid. The end goal is a button that blows up your own planet. Do you want a button that blows up your own planet? No. Then stop making bombs. I don't know why you would make bombs anywhere on this planet, because if you blow up the wrong bomb, you're going to blow up like everything. You're going to blow up a super volcano. You're going to blow up everything at the same time. You're gonna figure out global warming, whether or not it's real or not, because if all the volcanoes erupt, like, we always live on catastrophic end times, but we kind of live next to it, and you just kind of move out of the way. If a storm's coming, you move out of the way, or you ride it out. If you die, that means you weren't paying attention to the storm coming, so your house wasn't fortified. It's really that simple. We don't really have to have death anymore. I don't know why we keep having death. We keep killing people. It's like we're worshiping death. It's kind of weird. You didn't have to throw bombs. You could have thrown like water balloons at people. People would have understood that if you really want to threaten people, you put piss in the water balloons. If people don't want to get pissed on, at least they don't think they don't. Throw it in their mouths, and then they hate that part, But instead, we're going to have guns, and then we're going to have kids in schools. We're going to have a prison industrial complex. We're going to have everything. We're going to have weed illegal. We're going to have all this other stuff. And then we're just going to wait. We're going to see how long it takes for them to solve it. I solved it like at 14. I realized how stupid I was at 14. And then most people solved it at 14. And then they quietly kept me alive, and I thank them for it. And they thank me for it, because we thank each other for it. But in general, most stuff is pretty stupid. You're supposed to just use the Force and then walk towards it. We when people talk against diversity, it's not because they hate immigrants. It's because literally you could just go inside and see what's on the news, and then people won't threaten you anymore. I don't know why people are racist in this day and age. I don't know why people actually need to stand up for their culture. Their culture is gonna die because their culture is stupid. If you want to keep it alive in your house, and then it never dies. That's how easy that is. But people don't really understand what anything is. I could tell them all sorts of things. I could tell them alchemy about how to keep themselves alive forever, because all you have to do is not die. We have oxygen tanks to keep our elderless people alive, but they're barely alive. They can barely walk. If I can barely walk, I don't want to be alive anymore. Unless I'm sitting in a wheelchair and powered by my oxygen tank, and I can explode at any time. So I'm living literally on the edge. Why would I want to be in a home But people don't want to live on the edge. They tell you you're crazy. I've been locked up and Baker acted so many times I can barely even count because that's just so crazy. It's so crazy. It's so crazy. If you're loud, if you want to use your vocal cords in the capacity that they are supposed to before they erode and fall off your body, that's apparently stupid. But you disrupt people's business by just using your vocal cords. So that's the last time I got Baker acted. Actually, I used my vocal cords in a Walmart, and then I got locked up for 5 days. No one knew where the hell I was. My parents were worried sick. They were worried sick. Of course, they were worried sick because I didn't even have my phone because I lost that the last time I got Baker acted because that's how easy this is. You can find your stuff easily in this city because you're marked, and I don't see why being in a panopticon is like threatening in the slightest. Hackers have shown that if you wanted to topple the government at any point in time, anyone could do that at any point in time. You should just get swifty with it. So right now I'm just watching Yu Yu Hakusho because I never watched that series. I recently watched Hunter x Hunter and it changed my mind about anime. Anime makes me happy again. Like it used to not make me happy because you could just predict the plot, and now I realize that's the point. That's the point. You're supposed to watch a good story, good characters. You watch them like say their character lines, and then you do what you do what you want to do. That's what a movie's about. That's what Star Wars is supposed to be about. If I wanted to, I could just read the plot on Wikipedia after it comes out. It's not really a thing. I don't have to actually go to the movies and spend $10 on it. I could steal it on the computer if I wanted to. I don't really want to. I want to pay for it and see the experience when it comes out because I like Star Wars. That's kind of the thing. But I don't like it when people say, "Oh, this is just the same old, same old. This is just stupid. This is just the same thing as everything else." Everything is the same thing as everything else. I can sum it up. The universe happened. The end. That's every story from, you know. That's every story. That's every story. If you want to program your kid to be the smartest kid ever, give them a Pokemon game and let them play that. If they play that from beginning to basic reading ability is needed to play Pokemon. I played that since I was 3 years old, so I could read since I was 3 years old, and that's basically you can hack your brain and program or give your brain. You find a Mew. Find a Mew. You're not supposed to find the Mew. You're not supposed to hack your Pokemon. This Pokemon game was supposed to teach you how to make Pokemon, but I could be making Pokemon since PokeSav generations. You're supposed to be able to make Pokemon in your on your own. You're supposed to note the base stat limits, note the typing, note that. That's what Smogon is. They have a create a Pokemon project. You didn't need a whole community to do that though. You could have just like made up your own Pokemon and just like had to predict which Pokemon are coming out. So now they're gonna have a reboot. If you want, you could invest in Pokemon stock and get really, really rich. But I mean, no one really plays the game. No one plays the game that they're supposed to be playing. You're supposed to be playing the game that you want to play and invest in that game, and then just have fun with the rest of your life because they literally invent the cures to all of your diseases basically in time if you give them enough time. They found enough medication for AIDS that you'll live a normal life with AIDS, and that comes with the immunity to the rest of these rare afflictions that you were so scared of. So you could either lick a mouse or lick a doorknob or not, but life's really easy, so I'm just gonna take it easy. I'm gonna try to smoke some weed, but I don't have any weed. I'm gonna try to. Everyone should just finance me getting weed so I can just talk about how lame everything is. But I don't like make fun of people. I think people are nice. They're a little stupid, but everyone's a little stupid. I'm a little stupid. I try to get a little stupid so I can get smarter. There's nothing wrong with being stupid. You humble yourself so you can get smarter. If I've read all of the things in the universe, I'm bored with reading now. What did I earn? I earned the ability to read and get bored with it. And that's a stupid power. I'd like to delete that power and start over. And that's how you can, effectively, it's like the theme song for any sort of anime. You can try. That's for Hunter x Hunter, which is the sequel series to Yu Yu Hakusho, and I'm watching Yu Yu Hakusho right now. I'm on the fourth Holy Beast, and it's a pretty good show. It's a pretty good show. It's dated by the fact that earlier on there was an assassin who had a swastika on his like forehead, but I knew what he was talking about. He wasn't a Nazi. America was founded on killing Nazis, so I'm always going to stand by the fact that America needs to kill Nazis. So that's not really a concern for me. If they start wearing their swastikas and stuff, I can just start saying kill Nazis. really easy. I once wrote that on Facebook and stuff. I wrote like lots of stuff on Facebook because I thought that people were actually listening to what they were talking about, but weren't listening to what they were talking about. They were just wanting to be the first on the meme train. And if it's all just a stupid meme train, you killed Pepe. Pepe can come back to life anytime you kill these Nazis, but you just gotta kill these Nazis and then Pepe's fine. Pepe's fine. Pepe Sylvia, Pepe. Charlie Day. You got to pay the troll's toll if you want the boy's soul. I'm an English major. I graduated at the age of 20 from University of Central Florida, so I know what I'm talking about. So, basically, that's all I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna like try to narrate my thoughts and stuff, and I can go for really long periods of time. At one point on Facebook, I went for about 2 hours, so I can make a 2 hour video, a 2 hour stream if I wanted to. And I'm just gonna stream on YouTube, talk about my various ideas and stuff, and hope they get picked up. That recently they had a Danny Phantom, the there was a Butch Hartman put out what was happening 10 years later again, and I'm looking forward to seeing that. I'm looking forward to seeing that. I'm looking forward to seeing the rest of Yu Yu Hakusho, but I haven't watched that yet. I love Danny Phantom. I love what Butch Hartman did with that show, and I hope it comes back. I hope I could just see it come back. I hope I could work on it. I see myself as the guy who broke time, like what's his face, Dark Danny. That's what happened. He broke his own time, and now he's a little essence of him is outside of the time stream, so that clockwork can like keep tabs on him. But he even gave his past self his own ghostly well to show that he's not a bad sport. He'll give him any power that he has. But if you need me to like go up against these like really hard threats, that's what he's supposed to be for. He's your man. And he's pure ghost, so that's he might even be able to give himself powers to other people. If he give like that's what I was thinking about for myself, monkey's paw. If I give my powers to other people, of course I'm going to control them if they use my powers for evil or something. But otherwise, I'll let them do whatever they want with their powers. I don't care how much if they want to give up half their humanity for their powers. I want some of my humanity back. That's what I'm trying to earn. I'm trying to earn my humanity back. That's what he was doing. He was affecting a really weird and creepy kid during the whole movie. Just like, oh yes, I remember this. This was a part of my humanity. That's what he was doing. He was just a traumatized, messed up kid. That's what I am. I'm a traumatized, messed up guy. But whatever. Everyone has mental illnesses. I'm not ashamed of my mental illnesses. I go forth and conquer. And you know what? I also watch Glorious Smite. He may say some things I don't agree with, but hey, he's on the other side of the planet. He can't hurt me. He can't really hurt me. All he's doing is making videos that I like to watch. So I'm gonna watch those videos. I'm gonna salute him, and then that's gonna be that.